and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D street. Well, as of now, the markets have come off the day's high point for sure. It's now trading at 22,140 odd levels on the Nifty, 63 points lower in trade. The Nifty bank has also slipped from the day's high level. About 0.4% of a decline can be seen on this one too. 47,523 as the current level on the Nifty bank. It's the PSU banks that are exerting the pressure. The index is now down by 1.7%, so sharp profit booking being taking place on this one. Apart from this, the Nifty bank overall is down 0.4. You have autos that are down 0.7%. FMCG metals have also seen some profits being taken off the table, so it's down by 0.7% odd. Pharma index is lower in trade as well. Private banks are also down by about 0.3% odd. But what is still holding up? It's the realty space that's up by over 1% right now. You have IT space that continues to hold on into the green position. The index is up by about 0.7% odd or so. You have the media index, financial services still holding up above the flat line in the trade today. So some of these pockets are still holding up. Broader markets, of course, you have the mid and the small caps that are still holding on into the green zone. As far as the top movers on the Nifty are concerned, you have Bharti Airtel that continues to be at the top spot, 1.8% higher. A lot of these IT names, LTI, Mindtree, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, they all continue to soar high, and Tata Consumer Products and M&M after the results is something that is pulling up in the index right now. Good afternoon, Shail.
Good afternoon, Sakshi, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one of those very, very difficult weekly expiries that is taking place. And Sakshi, let me just add, it's not only very difficult, but it's very, very painful also. There is pain all around, but let me just address the good parts immediately. Let's look at the stock price of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. As we had discussed, very few stocks in the morning, and one of them was Hindustan Aeronautics. You've had blowout numbers coming in from this public sector defense giant. Just look at the numbers. Fourth quarter consolidated profit is at 4,300 rupees versus 2830 crore rupees. So it's a very, very strong beat. Revenue has come in at 14,800 crores versus 12,500 crores, and of course EBITDA has surged. Margin, look at the margin, we are now at almost 40% operating margin versus 26% operating margin. That makes it a 1400 basis point increase in the margin. Now let's look at the stock price. I just want to see what's the upper circuit for Hindustan Aeronautics today. This is that kind of a result that should be coming in. So it's at 4600, Sakshi. We are at 4455, about 150 less than the circuit. So it's like I said, almost a no-brainer that you will see a 10% on Hindustan Unilever today. And similarly, a very strong set of numbers coming in Mahindra and Mahindra. Let me just put these two numbers to rest and then discuss about the market. So Sakshi, very difficult expiry. The low of the Nifty is 22,050, 22,040, and the high is 22,300. Extreme volatility. The VIX itself is up 0.25 to 20.5. And across the board, ladies and gentlemen, you have seen traders being cut on both sides of the trade. Short, then the market goes up. When the market goes up, you go long. From then the market goes down. So extreme volatility is stepping into prices, and it's best to let this be dictated by institutional investors. If you really want to participate in this Nifty's downtrend, just look at the ETFs. Actually, very, very bad volatility. I cannot even begin to tell you the pain that is there in the world of options.
Absolutely. So we'll continue to look at how volatile is it going to be getting from here on as well. But let's reiterate some of the stocks that are really soaring in the F&O space again. Oberoi Realty is really the one that's been soaring sharpest in the real estate space, 8.3% higher in trade. Remember in the morning trade when we had discussed, the stock was only up about 4 odd percent, but you can actually see it will go up by about 8.5%. The other idea is Steel Authority of India, that is up about 7.6% from the metals basket. That one is inching higher. You have PVR Inox now coming back in action, about 3% up in trade. You have Power Finance Corporation, of course, right from morning we had discussed this one as well. It continues to move up higher. LIC Housing Finance, remember it was mixed set of earnings, but it's the management which also came on our channel that said that we continue to expect double-digit growth for FY25. So a bullish commentary right there, perhaps helping the stock to recover from the morning lows. Then from the other stocks which are reacting to the earnings, Dixon Technologies is up by about 2%. It was higher in the morning trade. Some of those gains have been lost on the way, but it's still holding up about 2 odd percent right off now. When we talk about the other stocks from the IT basket, it's Emphasis that continues to show a strong move in the F&O space, about 3.5% higher in this one as well. And the other one is the Entertainment Enterprises, that is up by about 2 odd percent. It's again among those top movers on the F&O space. All right, Shall, anything else that you've spotted?
Yes, Sakshi, I think there is some activity which is now, because of Hindustan Aeronautics happening within the defense space. Bharat Dynamics is what looks good. Let's look at the chart and we'll wait for our technical panel to assemble itself, and then we'll look at it. Bharat Dynamics is still about a whisker away from its all-time high, which is 2095, and we are now at 2041. Seeing the rally, Sakshi, that has come into Hindustan Aeronautics, I assure you, you will see a circuit on Hindustan Aeronautics today. We are already at 45.55. Very strong move coming in. So Bharat Dynamics is something to be looked at, and this is something which is now up 2.34%. So both HAL and BDL are moving in sync with each other. So BDL is something that I am looking at.
We have earnings of GAIL that have come in. The stock is reacting lower after the earnings. It's down by 3.2%, but I'm getting some numbers now. So profit is coming at 2,177 odd crore rupees. This is largely in line with the estimates. And when we talk about the revenues, again it's coming at 32,317 odd crores. This is slightly lower than the estimates, which were to the tune of 32,700 odd crore rupees odd. So it's lower than that. EBITDA has come in at 3,559 crore. Again, this is below the street estimates that were to the tune of 3,790 odd crore rupees as far as GAIL's EBITDA is concerned. EBITDA margins have come in at 11%. Again, the estimate was somewhere to the tune of 11.6%. So just slightly lower on that front, and which is why probably there is some pressure building up. We'll try and get you the comparative figures also as soon as we can as far as all of these numbers are concerned, but 192 currently on GAIL, so it is lower. Okay, so that's as far as GAIL is concerned. But right, as we had promised in the early morning trading session, that viewers, we will get you an insight into how the IT ETFs is something as a space that you should be now looking at. As Shell was pointing out earlier, right before the markets had started, that it's the IT space that could be in the limelight. Today you are seeing, despite all the choppiness, it's holding on to 0.9% of a move right here. Also aiding the sentiments could be the Nasdaq index that again had a strong showing overnight, and the IT space is again in the limelight with respect to hopes that are building on in terms of Federal Reserve now looking at some rate cuts coming in. Shell, good times coming in for the IT space, which has been thus far a laggard?
Sakshi, I do not know whether good times are there for the IT space in the pipeline or not, but one thing I've always realized in the past 30 years is that you must have the ability to buy fear and buy it piecemeal. Remember, we've been discussing various kinds of ETFs over the last 1 year or so, and among them we've not done sectoral ETFs as such, but we've done CPSE, we've done PSU banking Bs. So the reason why I feel that ETFs for IT sector will make logical sense is that if you look at the Nifty IT index, will you believe it that over the last 3 months, over the last quarter, the index is down 11%. It is the only index that is underperforming in the market. In fact, it is the only index in the red. If you look at how other stock indices have moved, the BSE small cap index over the last 3 months is up almost 3%. Mid cap index is up about 6%. Realty and power index are up about 11 and 13%, and here is an index which is the BSE IT index down 11%. Now, given the record high on the Nasdaq, I am just requesting if our PCR can fire the early morning chart of the Nasdaq, which shows very strong rally coming in, and as you have very wonderfully clarified that there is this possibility of a rate cut in the US markets. So to play that rally, which means that the IT index has to catch up not only with our own local indices but also with the Nasdaq, which is at a record high. Therefore, I suggest that people can look into ITBs, can look into a specific IT oriented fund. I wonder if we have those graphics which we can show on air that will give viewers an idea about what I am trying to refer to. So if we can look into IT ETFs as also a lot of other data that was to be presented as graphics. Sakshi, before this rally started in the mid caps and small caps about 1.5 years ago, you would be very pleasantly surprised to know that the only sector that was making long-term gains above 18-19% compounded was the IT index, and that's the reason why I suggest that we look into a lot of funds. I think we'll do this some other day. I don't believe that without graphics it would be of any sense. I believe Mr. Dhananjay is with us, and he's joining us as Head of Research for Equities at Systematics Group. Dhananjay, can you hear our voice?
Yes, we can. I can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to you, sir. Would you want to react to Hindustan Aeronautics' fantastic results? I believe the counter itself should be about 8-9% higher. What do you think?
No, I think clearly this is something that we have been overweight on for the last 3 years. I think it has multiplied almost like 3 times since then. I think clearly the strategy with respect to the defense theme in India has actually been building up, and I think the increase in geopolitical issues, the context that has been evolving, has actually compelled a lot of investments by the government in the defense space, and also a lot of indigenization that has been happening. So I think that preference to companies such as HAL and BEL is also another stock that has been there in my portfolio. I think that sustains. I think that goes beyond the local politics or the sectoral rotation that typically one looks at. So I think what you see in the results essentially is a manifestation of the long-term trend.
Okay. Warm welcome, Dhananjay. Good to have you with us. Could you also share with us what exactly are you looking at in this current market? We've had tremendous volatility in the last 10 days odd. Have you got the opportunity to buy into dips into any particular stocks that you could highlight?
So I think we have been positioned fairly in the sense that we recently have been more bullish as a contra call on IT, for instance. I think it was being discussed a little while ago. I just wanted to say that there has been a sort of a correction in the stock, and there has been a derating of the stock that has happened. And this is a set of chart that have been showing. Basically, what we find here is that if you look at the PE ratio for the IT index, it has been rising. It's been volatile, but there has been a correction recently. If you look at it in the recent times, there has been correction because the US long-term yields had actually gone up almost like 80 basis point in the last, I would say, 3-4 months. Because the hopes of rate cuts were actually eroding. And I think what we find now is that, notwithstanding that, the long-term trend since, I would say, somewhere around 2017, has been a rising trend, notwithstanding the volatility. At the bottom, we had seen the valuations going down to almost like 12, 15 levels. But then it has actually, post-COVID, went up to 36. People are expecting this to come down as the post-COVID bounce faded, but it has actually bounced back from 20 levels and stuff. So at this juncture, we think that there is a good amount of deal wins that IT companies have actually seen. We are also seeing that the pressure of labor costs has actually been reducing both globally and for Indian vendors. And I think the US Treasury yields have started to soften from levels of 480 or something. It has come down to 430 or lesser. So I think that is impacting global valuation for Nasdaq. Also, there has been a sort of impact there. I think with time, it will also reflect on Indian IT stocks, which have been underperforming in the recent times. So I think this is one area that has actually attracted our attention. I would say that uh, uh, the other thing that we have been liking essentially is the IT space. Structurally we are sorry, the auto space. Structurally, we think that there is a sort of a down trading that has been happening from entry level passenger vehicles to two wheelers. So you think such as Hero Motors or even TVS been doing very well. There has been a good traction out there, and auto ancillary who are feeding into the two-wheeler space can actually do well. The other thing that we like in the auto space is also tractors. So I would say M&M, for instance, benefits both from the premiumization trend that's been there, and also the tractor sector trajectory that we're looking at, especially when we are coming out of a worse scenario last year because of shortfall in monsoon, etc., and shortfall in production of agriculture produce because of that. And we are looking at a normal monsoon this year. And structurally, the trend growth for the tractor space has been roughly about 8%, and for farm tractors has been about 10%. So that's another space that we like. So these are the thoughts that we have at this juncture. Uh, IT, for instance, and I think agriculture inputs also we like, as within the agriculture agrochemical space, we like some stocks. So I think those are the thoughts that we have at this juncture. Defense we talked about. So yeah, those are the thoughts. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's again look at the Nifty Sakshi. It's back in the green, and you will not believe at 220 the low was 22,060, and now we have 22,263.
Yeah.
So in a span of 15-20 minutes, we are getting such wild jerks in the market
Yes.
that I am sure today a lot of housewives will be taking classes of their trader husbands, and there will be a lot of problems in a lot of households today. It's such a choppy market. It's killing both sides of the transactions, and nobody's safe. I mean, I don't know whether we'll break the 20-day SMA today on the upside, or we'll break the 100-day SMA on the downside. You know, such is the wild level of stock index moves that are happening. Even the bank nifty is going this way, but at the moment, let's see whether 22,300 holds or not. Terrible times for intraday traders, and they have all my sympathy. At this point of time, Sakshi, the advance decline ratios are also gyrating very badly. There are 1200 advances and 1000 declines, and you know, again, you will not believe that in a span of 5 minutes the entire market falls, and then in another next 5 minutes the entire market rises.
Yeah.
One really does not know what's happening in the Nifty. And now look at the intraday chart of the Nifty. It's about to take out its first resistance, and it's intraday high of about 22,290. Let us see what happens. We'll leave the gyrations to the rest of the world, but L&T is looking good, 34.35, again around its 200-day moving average, and of course Zomato 195. Sakshi.
And it's HDFC Bank that is contributing to most of these gains, surprisingly about 33 points higher, contributing to the Nifty right now. So it's the most contributing factor right now. Dhananjay, what's your view as far as HDFC Bank is concerned? We've actually seen a huge underperformance. It's been trying to come back. It's not been sustainable this far. How should an average investor really look at HDFC Bank right now?
So I think HDFC Bank has been a laggard for the last, I would say, 3 years or so. But it is largely because of the back merger that has happened. It has actually reduced the ability of the bank to grow. So that is the thing, and there is a sort of adjustment that seemed to be happening. It could take several quarters to normalize. But notwithstanding that, I think the valuation for the bank has actually come down quite sharply, almost like lowest since I would say in last 14 years. So I would say for an investor, I would say it's a good stock to own, because if you look at next 3-4 years, you might actually see handsome gains out of this stock. But you need to be patient about it. If you are a very frequent trader or fast trader, I might say this stock could actually disappoint. But I would say within the banking space, I like this bank because of the regulatory tightness that the RBI has been implementing with respect to exposure to retail lending, exposure to the KYC thing that has been happening, and other participation in the markets, etc., exposure to NBFC. So a lot of things are happening on the regulatory front. I would say HDFC Bank has gone through a lot of those adjustments, so the risk out there is much lesser, and the fact that this stock is actually fairly cheap from a long-term perspective, there is everything to gain. I mean, the risk on the downside is much lesser. Far lesser, I would say. The risk is very low.
Okay, we have earnings now. Info Edge has just come out with its earnings. From 179 crore rupees of a profit last year, this quarter it's gone up to 211 odd crore rupees. There's a declaration of a 12 rupee dividend as well. On the revenue front, again there is a jump on a year-on-year basis from about 564 odd crore rupees. It's reported a revenue of 608 crore rupees. Again, EBITDA has seen an improvement from 220 crores to 247 crores in Q4, and the margins have just slightly risen from 39% to about 40.6% as well. Even though the stock first dipped quite sharply when the earnings must have been reported, and then saw an uptick coming in, it's recovering from its lowest point, 2% higher at 5815. Your sense, Dhananjay, do you track this stock, and amidst the entire internet-based stocks, how are you looking at Info Edge, which was the first one to list on exchanges?
No, we don't have coverage for this, but I would say that the internet stocks have actually done well. I think the valuations also gone up quite sharply. So I would say I'm positive on the internet space, and but I need to really look at the valuations more closely before making a decisive view on this.
So, Sakshi, again, the Nifty is up to some very good calisthenics. 22,300 is with the bulls. It essentially means that the battle for 21 EMA is now back up again. We are at 2.255. It's very difficult to guess what the next 35 minutes will hold.
And
but if you look at the 5-minute chart on the Nifty, one,
Yeah.
2, 3, yeah, tell me.
And if we close at these levels,
Tell me.
if we close at these levels, somebody who does not track the markets like you and I do every minute and chart, every second of the markets move, somebody would believe that, we opened and closed at the same level and we have not had any move in the market.
So you remember in the morning I told you kursi ki peti bandh lijiye.
Yeah.
It is for this reason that I genuinely feel very sorry for traders today. Sakshi, there would have been mayhem and bloodbath, and that is true for Bank Nifty also. Remember, Nifty ki to chalo weekly expiry hai, baat mani. Bank Nifty is creating havoc in the lives of traders during intraday. Now at 22,342, the Nifty is up 141, and would you believe it? It's hiding so much of pain for somebody who, as you very rightly say, saw the market yesterday and will see the market at 3:31 PM. वो कहेगा चलो यार 150 पॉइंट बढ़ गया, ये तो मैं तुम्हें बता ही रहा था तेज़ी है, और खरीद लेते सुबह और आपको 142 पॉइंट और मिल जाते. But the death and carnage all around is just unbelievable. I can't even show you the messages that I am getting in my WhatsApp group as to the kind of pain that is coming in as far as prices are concerned. But look at it from this point of view. What are the pullers and draggers? The pullers and draggers of the market as far as the Nifty is concerned is Infosys. Chalo, we were right on that one. 29 points. Bharti Airtel, it's pulling in 18 points, and M&M 10 points. Remember, we've discussed these 4 stocks in the morning before they opened, plus Hindustan Aeronautics. So if you sort of keep the noise in the market away from you, you are able to make very, very serious money. And Sakshi, look at Cipla. We discussed Cipla in great detail, even 0.5% higher in all this pain that is there in the market. Let me just send you this intraday chart that I have in our common group, and then you will suddenly realize the level of pain that is there in the market. Over to you.
All right. Okay. Well, last word from you, Dhananjay ji, before we let you go. Going forward from here up until June 4th, how would you advise an average investor to deal with the market volatility?
Well, I think this is going to be a very volatile market. I think today is an example. The way you are showing that chart of Nifty, it's an amazing thing. So I think the volatility and gyrations is going to be fairly high. I think the event needs to pass, and at that point of time, one can make a sort of a more decisive view. At this juncture, I would be sitting more on more with gunpowder dry to take a more decisive view. So I think you will get good valuations in this whole volatility. So I think trading can be quite risky at this juncture. We need to look at 1 or 2 year horizon. At this juncture, market is fairly expensive, so the volatility can be fairly high, especially in the small and mid cap space. So I think wait for the opportunity for the event to pass, and we will get more clarity on what the Fed does as well. So these are the 2 risks that we need to really look at in the coming months. So I would not get very aggressive at this juncture.
Understood. Well, thank you so much, Dhananjay, for speaking to us and sparing your time for our viewers to share your insights on the markets. We'll move across and welcome our other guest on the show, viewers. Santosh Meena joins in, Head of Research at Swastika Investmart. Santosh, good afternoon. Good to have you with us on Business Today and on Market Today. How are you viewing this extreme gyrations in the market, and what would you do?
Yeah, Sakshi, first of all, good afternoon, Sarji. So, market is extremely volatile, and I think today we saw a sharp pressure in first half, but at lower level, near to 20,000 level, we are seeing a sharp recovery. If you look at the low Bank Nifty future, 47,063, which is much lower. So today we have seen the clean out trade. I think we can see the reversal of FI short positions in coming days. So I believe we are ready for a short covering rally. As you know that FI short positions at multi-year high level, despite the contract has lowered. So I believe we are ready for a massive short covering rally. Now Nifty has crossed the 20-day moving average decisively, 22,300. We can expect a move towards 22,525, 22,700 in coming days.
Good afternoon to you, Santosh. A very warm welcome. And it's been a roller coaster ride as far as the Nifty is concerned today. I have absolutely zero intention of asking you where the index is headed, except for the fact that let's hope that it closes above the 21 EMA today, and that all those people who had invested in the Nifty ETF and the Bank Nifty ETF are now laughing all the way to the bank. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you're just going to see the mother of all short coverings over the next 20-25 minutes or so. And let's tighten our seatbelts, Sakshi. 22,400, will you believe it? 22,400 is right there in front of you. Just, it's unimaginable that at 2:20 p.m. the market, the Nifty was at 22,065. And given the fact that you have record shorts by foreign institutional investors, you are seeing the mother of all short coverings happening on weekly expiry day. I have no idea whether this short covering will last or not, but all I'm trying to tell you is that we are in for a very exciting time. We will close above 21 EMA today, and Sakshi, the new high, the record new high is in the works later next week. Santosh, any one or two stocks that catch your attention on the long side?
Yes, one thing is that I believe heavyweights focus on the heavyweights from now, because this market is going to driven by FIs, short covering and fresh buying. So focus on like ICICI Bank, SDFC Bank. So I believe focus on ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank has corrected, and after testing its 20-day moving average, now it is bouncing back. So I believe 1150 can be seen in the near term. On the downside, 1160 will be support level. Similar Reliance, it is crossing important resistance of 2850. Once it will cross 2850, it may head towards 2900 level. On the downside, 2820 will be support level.
Okay, got that. All right, Santosh, let me take your view on M&M post the earnings. The stock is up 3%, and we've seen, improvement in the market share, be it with respect to the tractors sales as well as improvement on the top line and the bottom line is also concerned. Of course, when we talk about SUVs, the market share is now at 20.4%. That's also increased, and there is a robust FY24 ROE is at 18.4%. The company has reported. How are you looking at M&M? 3% uptick now.
Yes, M&M is in a strong bullish momentum. It is trading at all-time high level. However, it is trading much higher than its 20-day moving average. So there will be risk of some profit booking at high level, but overall structure will remain bullish. Any dip or consolidation will be a great buying opportunity. If you are invested in M&M, stay invested. If you are a trader, take some profit off the table, and at any pullback, look for the buying opportunity.
Okay, look for a buying opportunity at every dip right now. But would you chase, say, Oberoi Realty in the kind of move that we are seeing there, or is it best avoided after this move?
No, I think the momentum is likely to continue. Maybe we may see some consolidation for 1 to 2 days, but the momentum is likely to continue towards 1800 level, even possibility of 2000 level in coming days. But because there is a classical breakout of cup and handle formation and the momentum is very strong, so 1800 is a probable target in the near term. We may see some consolidation around 1700 level, but view is bullish.
Okay, so the view is bullish on Oberoi Realty as well. Let's look at the markets now again. Strong move, 0.86% of a rise on the Nifty. You have 22,391. And you know what a sharp revival is what it is. And I think we're very, very close to that 22,400 mark. And as Shell believes, it could be next week that we could be seeing record highs, or if this momentum continues, Shell, it could be even tomorrow.
Sakshi, I am telling you, let me just compose myself. If it is tomorrow, the level of deaths in the market would be phenomenal. Lots of people short Sakshi. It's going to be very, very painful, and this short covering will spell death of many traders, sadly, but people don't listen. And what can be done? These are all automated algorithms that are now working overtime to make a killing at the expense of retail options traders, Sakshi. And believe you me, it's going to be a very difficult day. I can't remember last time when on a weekly expiry day Nifty rose 200 points. Normally it expires flat, doing nothing. And within this 200 point lie millions and millions point of pain, sorrow, and how should I say, trouble. But for passive investors, ladies and gentlemen, you have 22,400. If you had listened to our advice on last Friday to start buying Nifty and Bank Nifty ETFs, you would have made a fabulous rally of 600 points on the Nifty without batting an eyelid, and about 900 to 1000 points on the Bank Nifty. So that's the power of ETFs and doing quality buying when the market is in pain. But what's looking good? Sakshi, Policy Bazaar 5% higher, 1334. What's looking good? Honeywell Automation, pata nahi kitne dinon baad I'm checking this price, 14% higher, 56,399, and a whole host of indices now at days high. Let's do a broad market detour. We are already at 3:07 p.m. and all 19 indices are in the green except for the PSU banking index. The top gainer is the Nifty IT index, 1.7% higher. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll try and repeat that ETF show tomorrow. It was a very well thought of researched show, but sadly because of some issues we could not show it. We'll do that tomorrow. But very nice traction in the market. The advanced decline ratio is now 1234 to 857, and strong traction coming in. 1 percentage point up on the Nifty, Sakshi, 22,402, और अभी भी 22 मिनट बाकी हैं. The level of short covering in the market is just beyond phenomenal. I've just sent you the intraday graph of the Nifty in our common group. Just have a look at it. This is phenomenal, Sakshi.
Absolutely, and the Nifty is above 22,400 right now, 0.9% higher, days high move. There are some earnings coming in. Let me just look at those. Motherson Wiring has come up with the earnings. So profit over here has improved from 138 crores last year to 191 crores. The stock is also initially reacting to the numbers that are coming in. I think it's about 2% higher. The revenues have also improved to 2,233 crores. This is from 1872 crores recorded earlier. So an improvement on both the top line and the bottom line for Motherson Wiring. These are the numbers that I'm getting in right now. I don't have many more details on this. Do you track this stock at all, Santosh? And would you be able to give your view? It shot up again once the earnings came in and came down after that. 69 right now.
Yes, the stock is generally remains where not much volume. But on technical front, 67 is a good support level. On the upside, 73, 75 is a resistance area. So once it will cross 75 level, then we may see a major movement. But for timing, sideways. On the downside, 67 is a support level. On the upside, 73, 75 is a resistance area.
Okay, so that's Motherson Wiring for you. Let's again look at the top movers on the Nifty. It's Tata Consumer Products that has shot up 2.7% higher. It's now the top mover on the Nifty. Remember, the number of stocks in the red on the Nifty have also reduced. Now it's just about 7 stocks that are in the red, and or 8 stocks that are in red. The rest of the stocks are all up and about. Tata Consumer Products, would you look at this chart and tell us, Santosh, how do you read it, and does this momentum stay on? Should one take it?
Yes, after recent correction, it is bottoming out. It is forming a bullish candlestick formation. There will be some resistance around 1100 to 1120 zone, but I believe once it will cross, then we may see further strength. Downside 1060 has become a bottom, so keep a stop loss of 1060, and once it will cross 1120, we may see further upside.
Okay, so that's as far as Tata Consumer Products is also concerned. HAL, which we have been discussing with you viewers in the F&O space, is crossed 10% surge as well. It's trading right now at 4673 as of now in the F&O space. A sharp move that continues on HAL even now. Along with it, there are other defense players that are also pulling up. So BEL is now up by about 2.3 odd percent. How is BEL looking to you? It's also recovered from the day's low sharply, and it's also now at the day's high, 2.3% uptick. You can actually see mirroring the kind of move that we've seen in the markets, the way BEL has also risen.
Yes, at one point of time it was in the red, but after HL earnings, it showing a strong momentum from the lower levels. On immediate basis, there is a resistance to near to 240 level, but I think it will cross 240 level, and next target will be 255, 260 level. So momentum is strong. Keep a stop loss of 233 and hold this position for the target of 260.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news to share. I am requesting the PCR to draw the long-term chart of the Nifty mid-cap 100 index, the one that is trading at about 51,000. And Sakshi, it's any moment now that the mid-cap index will be hitting a record high. At the moment, the Nifty mid-cap 100 index is trading at 51,139. This is rallied for the 5th day in a row, and the all-time high, intraday high, is 51,342. The close is of course 50,935. So by all accounts, we'll be closing at a record high on the Nifty mid cap 100 index today. But on an intraday basis also, there is this possibility that over the next 17 minutes or maybe tomorrow, you will see an intraday high on the Nifty mid cap index. The rally is now, ladies and gentlemen, gathering stream. 22,402 as far as the Nifty is concerned. Early morning when Mr. Palvia was here with us, he had suggested to go long on the 22,250 call, but like I said, it would have been impossible to hold on to that level of volatility. Be that as it may, in hindsight, the market is always understood very well, but very, very strong moves coming in now. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio on the Nifty. At the moment, it's 40:10. For every one stock that is falling, there are 4 that are up, and it's just a blowout on the index. Over the last 1 hour or so, we've seen a 350 point swing towards upside. Let's hope that this is not just a volatile expiry, and we have some traction coming into the market tomorrow. So actually it also clarifies a lot of things as far as the politics of this market was concerned in terms of elections. So if we have a rally again tomorrow, then the markets would be very well rested and very well happy with the prospects of the BJP returning to power. And the only thing that we check with great fear and awe is the India VIX. Let me just show it to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's now down 1.1% at 20.05. And Sakshi, hold your breath. The volatility of India VIX, I'll tell you the high 21.1 and the low was 18.96. Let me just put that in perspective. 21.11 minus 18.96, that's 2.15. Let me just divide it by yesterday's close, which is 20.27%. Okay, the intraday volatility, Sakshi, on India VIX is 10 percentage points. Not 10%, it's 10 percentage points, which is so huge that it is very, very difficult to navigate. And again, it is now rising 22,413. You are at the third resistance level of the intraday chart of the Nifty, Sakshi.
Okay, so that's the kind of move that we are seeing in the markets. Let's again pay attention to the big contributors on the Nifty recovery in trade today. Of course, like I pointed, it's HDFC Bank that's contributing about 42 odd points to this recovery in the markets. Infosys, which we have been discussing since morning, is contributing about 34 points. Bharti Airtel is contributing 18 points. L&T is contributing 16 points. Reliance is also back in action, 14.8 points by Reliance today. ICICI Bank, M&M and Titan are the other big movers which are contributing to the gains on the Nifty right now. Let's again look at the broadest index, if there are any other names that have come up apart from the ones that we had discussed in the morning. So you have stocks like Aadhar Housing Finance, that's doing very well on day 2 after listing, so 10% higher right now for this one. Then you have Inox Wind, again 9% higher. Titagarh Rail and NCC we had discussed after the earnings. They continue to hold on to their top spot, 18.5% of a move for these ones. Railway stocks are again in focus, like we had discussed. Apart from Titagarh Rail, it's now even Ircon International that is seeing a sharp move of 7.5%. And you also have IRCTC that's up by about 1.5 to 2% up in trade right now. Santosh, anything from the railway space that interests you?
Yes, railway stocks are doing well for last many days, but I think now your focus should be on large cap space, because if there will be short covering and fresh buying by the FI, then we are going to see a strong run up in large cap counters. You can see in current from this stocks are not doing much well, but the heavyweights like Infosys, HDFC Bank, Reliance, they are showing strength. So I believe from here and in after election results, the market large cap will outperform compared to mid cap. But yes, if you are asking about the railway stock, IRFC is looking good. There is some resistance around 1622 level, but once it will cross, we may see fresh high in this counter. So you can look towards IRFC.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 3:18, 12 minutes left. Let's see how the markets are structured. Sakshi, the Nifty IT index 570 points higher. In my wildest dreams in the morning, I did not see this kind of a bounce back. I thought it would end in the green, but this kind of a rally, thank you very much, Mr. Market. And let's hope these good times now have started for the IT index. And of course, this is really, really good news for the local investing community, where the signal that is coming in is of continuity and hope of process as well as how should I say, regulatory continuity in the markets beyond 4th June. Today I have no doubt in my mind that we should see a record high fairly soon, and I hope that it happens somewhere next week, because we have just 2 trading sessions left. Sakshi is of the view that if we continue with the markets by 5 p.m. today, then we should see a record high. She's not wrong, but all good things come to an end, and that end is 10 minutes away on this fabulous expiry that has been a learning exercise if you're sitting out of futures and options like I am, Sakshi.
Okay, 3:20, good time. Let's take any BTST, STBT trades from Santosh. What would you suggest?
Yes, actually, my focus is on Axis Bank. Axis Bank is showing strong bullish momentum from its 20-day moving average. I believe it is ready to hit fresh high in coming days. So buy Axis Bank. Currently trading around 1141. For tomorrow, I have a target of 1175. Keep a stop loss of 1130.
Okay, Axis Bank is where Santosh is keeping a keen eye out on right now. But one more stock, one more set of stocks that I wanted your view again, Santosh, is the big movers from the power space, the PFC and REC counters. After earnings, PFC has continued with a strong showing today, and along with it, REC continues to move up higher. How would you really look at these?
Yeah, there is a strong bullish momentum in PFC and REC. If I talk about the PFC, it is bouncing back from important demand zone. There will be some hurdle around 470 level. We may see some pause that level, but once it will cross 470, 480 resistance area, then fresh momentum will, we can see fresh bullish momentum. So view is bullish, but there is some resistance around 480 level. If I talk about the REC, similar picture, there is some hurdle on the 560 level. So view is bullish, but there is some hurdle near the counter.
Okay. One more banking
So,
counter.
Sakshi,
Shell.
Sakshi, the first circuit on HAL has been hit 10% higher, and now it's proceeding to the second circuit, which is the 15% uptick. That will be at 4809. We are 8 minutes away from the market. I don't know whether that will happen or not, but I was more or less certain that we'll see the first circuit. That's on the screen. 2 stocks to watch, BEL and BDL, in the tailwind that is flowing behind HAL. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shell, and very strong move right there. But also wanted to discuss one more stock from the banking space, Kotak Mahindra Bank. It's now up by 1.4% odd right now. We do know that ICICI Bank is one of the top contributors to the Nifty recovery. But how are you looking at this recovery in even Kotak Mahindra Bank from the day's low point? Again, it's at the day's high, 1.4% up.
Yes, actually, Kotak Bank is looking interesting because there are some signs of bottoming out. On immediate basis, 1675 is 20-day moving average. Currently, it is trading at exact level. I think it will cross this level tomorrow, and once it will cross 1675 level, we may see a short covering move towards 1720 level. So view is bullish. Tomorrow we may see a buying about 1675 level.
Okay. And let's not forget again to mark the capital goods index, which is now up by 2% odd or so, and the entire space stocks that Shell has been consistently discussing with all the guests too, be it ABB, be it Timken, be it SKF, or even Shuffler or KEI Industries, the entire industrials and capital goods space that has been in the thick of action in the last few trading sessions, and there is no let up in the kind of rally. What looks positive to you among these set of names which are all moving in tandem together and soaring to newer highs?
Yes, actually, you can pick any Cummins, Siemens, ABB, all are doing pretty well. Yeah, risk reward is not favorable for the traders. So if you are an investor, hold these stocks. If you are a trader, you can look for a buying opportunity at any pullback or consolidation from mid cap space Carborundum Universal is one of the strongest counter today. It has seen a strong run up. So and Thermex as well. So any pullback or consolidation will be a good buying opportunity for a trader. But if you are an investor, hold these stocks.
Right. We have now 6 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Sakshi, we'll try and wrap it up as far as markets are concerned now. All in all, a great expiry if you're on the long side. If you were a short bear, well, you have our heartfelt sympathies. The index is going to end not only at its day's high, but it has also taken out the 21-day exponential moving average, which now rests with the bulls, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very, very strong note that the market has sent across the board as a political message as well. The low of today was 22,054. We are at 22,418 and we are gathering steam. Now the market is buy on dip. It has changed the texture from sell on rise. Any dips from now on towards 21 EMA are to be purchased with the open arms, and this rally, ladies and gentlemen, will now take the index to a fresh high, which was last seen on 3rd May, and the high level was 22,794. As I have said repeatedly, आप अपनी कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए. Something should happen on the positive side with extreme volatility built in over the next 3 or 4 sessions. But for those who had listened to our view on index ETFs, they've made supernormal money with taking the least, if not zero, amount of risk. Sakshi, all indices are ending at day's highs. It looks a very dark green shade of green on Dalal Street. The Nifty Realty Index is 1.9% higher. The IT Index is 1.6% higher. Media Index is at 1.4% higher. The Nifty PSE Index is 1.1% higher. I'll also narrate a list of all-time high. We have been tracking the capital goods sector with some detail over the last 5-7 trading sessions, and believe you me, so many of them are from that section. But we'll start the list with Hindustan Aeronautics. The stock is doing a vertical Charlie, 11% higher, 46.33. Needless to say, it's a record high. Carborundum Universal, just now discussed, 7.6% higher, 16.50. Schaeffler, SKF and Timken India. These are the 3 bearing makers, ladies and gentlemen, we discussed about 15 days ago. All 3 of them are at fresh record highs. You have M&M, ABB, Bharti Airtel and Ashok Leyland, Hudco amongst the stocks that are buzzing in the green, and a change of digit happening in Jindal Steel and Power. It's moving from 3 digits to 4 digits. 1005 up 1.2%, a record high. Sakshi, yours.
Okay, Santosh, we'll take last word from you on the show. How would you really see and advise investors to really participate in the markets from here on, since we are now seeing a clear uptrend emerging, and like Shail also said that this could now be a change strategy from sell on rise to a buy on dip strategy. How would you really advise investors?
Yeah, today there is a clear sign that the market is ready to move higher. It is closing about 20-day moving average, and I believe large cap will outperform. You can easily bet through Nifty ETF. There is a good chance that in very few days, 1 to 2 months, you will get a 10 to 15% return in Nifty, Bank Nifty ETFs. So bet on large cap. There's a good chance that we have made a bottom.
Good chance that we've made a bottom. In case you buy the Nifty ETF, good chance that you can also earn 10 to 15% gains over the next few months as well. That's the word coming in from Santosh. Many thanks, Santosh, for being with us on this show and sharing with us, all those insights on the strategies and various stocks that you also discussed on the show with us. Time to wrap up the edition as well as today's trading session. What a sharp recovery in the markets. Nearly a 200 point of a jump is what we see. 22,400 closing in as far as the end of this session is concerned. And when we look at the other sectoral movers, of course it's the kind of moves that we have been seeing on all across the sectors. Today, all of them really moved up sharply and recovered towards the end of the session. Look at the Nifty Bank. It's ending with 300 points gains, 0.6% higher, 47,976 on that one. Mid and the small caps at the day's high point, now up almost 1%. India Wix down by 1.75% at 19.9 odd levels. Apart from the Nifty Bank, you have autos that have recovered sharply, 0.7% higher. Financial services recovered sharply, 1% higher. FMCG up 0.9%. IT index 1.5%, strong contributor to gains today. Media index 1.2% higher. Metals up 0.3%, pharma up 0.5%, recovering from the losses of the day. PSU banks, remember when we had opened this edition an hour back, this was the index that was losing up to 1.5%. It's recovered almost half of the losses from the day's low point. Private banks up by 0.7%, realty up by 1.9%, consumer durables up by 1.9%. So barring just about one index, that is PSU banks, rest of the sectors are all up into the green. M&M is the top mover on the Nifty today, ends higher by 3.9%. Tata Consumer Products follows 2.9% up. Bharti Airtel is the top third one, 2.6% higher. LTI Mindtree, Tech Mahindra and Infosys, and Titan also sharp recovery on this one too towards the end of the session. These are the top movers on the Nifty. On the laggard front, Maruti Suzuki remains 2% lower. Dr. Reddy's a percent cut. SBI, Tata Motors, BPCL and Power Grid, the other losers in trade today. On the F&O space, you have HAL ending higher by 11 odd %, a sharp move on that one. Oberoi Realty, Steel Authority of India, Power Finance Corporation and Emphasis, the other big movers. On the downside, Bandhan Bank, Piramal Enterprises, United Breweries and Canara Bank, after that split really recently played out. These are the stocks that were under pressure. But with that, we wrap up this special trade. Many thanks from both Shell and me, but do stay tuned on to Business Today Television as we continue to get you all the buzz from the world of business and finance on your screens, even beyond the market hours.
At the heart of Hindu faith and